Hey guys, we've got news for Global on April 14th. And this week, to join me to discuss it is Windfoxie again. So you can say hello, Foxy.
Hello.
So this week we actually have quite a bit of news, and I am glad Foxy is here to talk about it. This might be a longish video, but we'll try to keep it to the points. So we've
Yeah, I'm
got
I'm, he- I'm here for the best content only.
I mean, it is a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff I am pretty excited about. Other stuff, yeah, we're gonna talk about in just a second.
Those are the best part.
So we've got Nicole the return, Secure the return, and only like 8 something months late, we've got Medina's Neovision Awakening. I am so ready for her. I think I can make 2 copies to EX3 on day one. I have so many
Whoa.
Medinas off banner, like 20 plus off banner Medinas. How about you, Foxy?
I think I make one X3, which is still pretty a big number of media in my stash.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make a second copy because what's the point? But like I could if I really wanted to. I'll probably just make one copy. But
Trials?
I mean, you could use your own for trials, but she's not really like the greatest trial unit to be honest here. I mean, she would have been a year
True
ago.
enough.
A year ago, she could have been.
I mean, you could always use those for your very helpful budget clears trials, like with
Well,
units like Sakura in them, Arif. You can now include Medina in the team as well. 2 of them.
well,
That's really budget.
I mean, yes, technically I could, but like to call 2 EX3 Medinas the budget clear might be a little bit of a stretch, just a little bit. But this week is another a global exclusive Vision card. We've got the Weaver of Wishes on the step up. Now I will draw your attention to. We'll put it on both of them on screen. So there's the Vision card step up, and then the follow up step up if you go all the way to Pity. Like usual, you have to go an extra 4 laps. No, 2 laps on the second banner if you go to Pity. There are no fragments on the step up or on the follow up banner, but there are fragments in the exchange shop. So just keep that in mind. There are still fragments, but they're only in the exchange shop. Now, before we go to the units, we're going to just talk real quick about the shop. I'm going to point out they are now adding mystery crystals and mastery crowns to the exchange shop. So this is basically how JP kind of always did it from day one. Not mystery crystals. JP did. I don't think JP ever sold a mystery crystal, but they did sell mastery crowns all the way from the beginning. I think. Am I correct, Foxy? Did they ever have mystery crystals on banners as well, or was it just the crowns?
I don't think. Let me think. I think only the crowns, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it was just the crowns.
Yeah, only the crown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people can let me know in the comments if we both got it wrong. But I think, yeah, JP has always had crowns on the banner from, like, the pity tokens, the JP pity tokens. The system isn't an exact copy of Global. We can't really compare one-to-one. But just the short version is you could always get crowns from pulling hard on a banner in JP. Most banners, not every banner. Now you can on Global as well. So I've already seen a few people in Discord just from the news just came out. A few people are like, "Oh my God, the game is now pay to win because you can basically spend money and pull harder and get more resources than other players will," which is true. Like that is a true statement. You can just go hard on the banner and get more crystals and crowns than the person that doesn't pull on the banner. I don't personally see much of a problem with that. Like the game is. I mean, just to be blatant about it, the game has always been pay to win, so nothing new.
So yeah, so I'm not sure how that statement is any less than before. It's always been like that. Whenever you pull on the latest banner, you will be ranking higher or highest in the whatever is going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't see a problem with it, but definitely let me know in the comments your feelings on it. Do you think this is a good change or a bad change? Even though I'm probably not going to pull on this banner, I am glad that they're making crowns and crystals more available. The crystals, I'm not so sure about. That's I'm glad the crowns are on the banner. I'm not so sure about the crystal. I don't think maybe the crystals should be super like available this early. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. I'm a little mixed feeling on the crystals, but I think the crowns are fine on the banner, especially if they start going backwards and or giving us the crowns we skipped, like backtrack and get those we skipped. Because currently we've skipped Ferris's crowns, we've skipped Noctis crowns, and we've skipped Arden's crowns on global. We do have the rest of them, but we're missing 3 big units for crowns, which really sucks. So hopefully they bring those forward. But back to the units themselves. So there's the step up if you go for them. So we've got Nicole the return and Sakura the return. Now these two are basically identical. Like they almost have a copy paste kit entirely. There's some very small differences. For example, Sakura can fill your LB gauge on the party. Nicole can do some resistance buffs, but they are basically identical units except for the element. So do you have either of these in JP, Foxy?
I have Nicole, and I'm still waiting on Sakura, which you promised that you would bless me with.
I don't know. I've got Sakura on JP. I tried to use her once, and for those of you that are fans of Sakura or Nicole, you might want to tune out for a few minutes because I am not going to be kind to these units. Oh my god, these units are just flawed. Flawed heavily. They are not good. Okay, so Nicole is very obviously water aligned, and Sakura is thunder aligned. Now, the only good thing about these units, I will say, is the STMRs, kind of, and long-term only. Okay, so these are two-handed mage weapons. Now, if you follow JP, you might know that in the future, JP adds a change where mages finally get weapon variants, meaning you mostly want to always double-hand your mages when possible. And there's not many double-hand mage items in the game currently. There's a few, like Shui's STMR, technically speaking, like, what's her name? Aurora Friebia's two-handed sword is like kind of a two-handed mage weapon, kind of, for sword mages. It's not that good, but it is two-handed. There's not really many others, though. But JP, starting from this banner, started just pumping out Neovisions back to back to back that had STMRs of two-handed mage weapons. Like, this is the two-handed rod. Sakura has the two-handed spear. Like, there's a Poppy coming with a two-handed mage mace. There's a Leftia coming with a two-handed mage thrower, etc., etc. It's like basically a new Neovisions coming soon that is going to have almost every version of weapon for two-handed mages. Like the new Dark Fiend has got the two-handed whip, etc., etc. Okay, so
one-handed is dead.
What was that?
One-handed is dead. Dual wield is dead.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely dead. Mm-hmm. From this point onwards.
Yeah. Pretty much all mages are two-handed going forward. So one thing I want to point out that might be overlooked is these two-handers are elemental locked. Now, for regular mages, that doesn't matter. But for those of you that are really hyped up and trying to prepare your, like, Angela for, God mode when the variance patch comes, keep in mind, Nicole's is water locked. Meaning, on a physical mage like Angela or Roberta or Louise, etc., this will lock the unit to water, and this one will lock the unit to thunder. So just keep that in mind. That might be okay for you, but like if you're trying to run like, Angela on a fire team and you want to use this as a two-handed rod, it will lock her to water. That is a very important thing to notice and not overlook. Okay, so Foxy, you told me you like Sakura. Tell me why you like Sakura. We're gonna defend her for a moment before I tear her down. Foxy?
She has pink hair.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, that is true. That is true. I can't dispute that. She does have pink hair.
She has a big rod, a big magic rod.
It's a
spear somehow now.
It's a spear, though. That is correct. It is a spear, not a rod. Okay, so for...
the sprite is cute. Yeah, her sprite is cute. That is the number one reason.
That is true. Okay, so these units did not get global upgrades, and this is a tragedy because, okay, so the way these units work, they're SLB units. They use their super limit burst to do modifier boost for themselves and one other unit. They can give the mod boost to a different unit, mostly either a dupe or the other version of themselves, like Sakura and Nicole. These give modifier boost to their spells, which they then quadcast. Nicole quadcast his upgraded Flood, and Sakura quadcast her upgraded Burst spell. So let's go ahead and look over, based on the JP kits, just an estimated damage breakdown of Sakura and Nicole. And this is my personal spreadsheet, which you may disagree with, or the parameters, etc. But just this does give you an overall idea of where, like an EX3, Sakura and Nicole would land for burst. And this is burst only, not damage per turn. And this is only for mages. So they're approximately 7-ish billion, 6.5, 7 billion burst damage, which is where they fall among mages. So to give you an idea in comparison, Dark Rain is approximately 12. We're not going to count this because this is Reflected Holy, which people don't really use, too hard to use. But like a Crown Faceless is 7.5, etc. Angela's 14. She's kind of crazy, but she takes 20 turns to ramp up. So these are they're like mid-tier mages. They're worse than like Pause, and Pause came out like 6 months ago. No, Pause with Dark Rain's TMR, which, to be fair, not everyone has, but if you do, Pause is even better. So these are like mid-tier, but then when you compare them to physical units, they would, around 7 billion, they would land like around Kurasame or Carton in Dark Visions. So their damage is just low. Low. So that is a major problem with them. So we're going to go through Foxy, and we're going to talk about the 4 different main contents of the game. Trials, Dark Visions, Clash of Wills, and EX Fights. Okay?
Hold on. Regarding Sakura and Nicole, they don't specifically chain Flood only, right? They have a special Graviton Cannon chain. What was it?
Nicole chains right? Nicole chains Flood. Sakura chains Burst, and yes, Burst is Graviton Cannon chain frames, which is true. Yeah, the chain frames are basically dupe only, or someone that has those spells, because no one chains Graviton Cannon and no one chains Flood as a actual unit.
So you have to pull both to make good use of them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Nice.
So let's go for the easy one first. We're going to play a game, Windfoxie. So why are these units bad in EX battles, like the ones you need to do for like Mastery Crowns and stuff? Why are they bad in EX battles?
Yeah, elemental locked.
That is one reason. That is not the reason I was thinking, though. So the reason they're terrible in EX battles is because they need their super limit burst to modifier boost themselves for their good damage. That means at the earliest you SLB at EX3, you can SLB on turn 3, and you can do 1 turn of burst damage on turn 4. So turn 4, half the EX battles you already failed because they're 3 turns or less. The ones that are 4 turns or less, 1 turn of burst damage is not going to be enough. These units cannot function on the EX battles. Not to mention, you can't take a friend and they chain completely obscure chain frames. Yeah. Quad Flood or quad Graviton. No one else chains either of these. So they can't do EX battles. Now, as far as why they're not going to take these units to Clash of Wills, that's pretty obvious. They're just not Clash of Wills units. Their damage is terrible. They have no utility. They're not coming to Clash of Wills. So 2 of the 4 game modes, no. So let's talk about Dark Visions. Why are these never going to come to a Dark Visions fight, Foxy?
The same reason as the X Trial reason?
Not really, because on Dark Visions you can usually, sometimes you can spend as long as you need to set up. So they could set up in Dark Visions. You know the problem for Dark Visions with these units? all of their quad casting skills are AoE. You know what that means? They'll cast one, maybe two casts, and their skills will be canceled. They cannot be used in dark visions because they are purely and entirely AoE on their chaining skills, and they quad cast them. That is getting cut off real quick before they get their fourth cast off. Now that was
until the AoE fix, right?
Yeah, that is fixed in JP. They do fix that after 6 to 7 years. They finally fixed the AoE bug, but that fix is like just happened in JP. It's like 5 to 6 months away, and these guys are already doing garbage damage today. So in 6 months, when that fix comes, you're not still using Secura and Nicole. And then the last thing is trials. Now, why are we not using these in trials, Foxy, where you've got like 15 to 20 turns to do fights, etc.? So why aren't we using these in trials? Let's see if Foxy knows this one.
Okay, so far I got 3 out of 4 wrong. So okay. We don't bring them to trials because I got nothing.
Got nothing. Let's look at the upcoming trials from JP. Here's the resistances. So War Machine, or War Mech, or Death Machine, the next one due. You might be looking here. It's only weak to Thunder and Water. Like, oh my god, this is great for these 2 units. You might think that. We're going to come back to Death Machine in a minute. Let's look at the other trials coming. Gloomwing, 185 to both resist. You got to use Ice or Wind, basically. Belphegor, you can't use Thunder and Water. Rafflesia, you can't use Thunder and Water. Cerberus, you can't use Thunder and Water. So, let's go back to the War Mech trial, like, oh, that's weak to their elements. No.
Nice.
No. So, the War Mech trial, it uses Nethicite that just shuts down your magic basically every turn, or every second turn. Now, technically speaking, you can like finger snap away the Nethicite, but that's going to remove all your buffs. And that trial, a lot is going on. You can't afford to like dispel the boss and re-debuff him completely like every turn. So you can't even use magic on this fight. Assuming you could fit a way in to dispel the Nethicite every other turn, if you have the free action to do it, like, okay, I handle the Nethicite, I can use magic now. War Mech kills your entire party every single turn. You're re-raising every single turn. The way these units work, they stack up modifiers for like 3 different turns, and then they do a turn of burst. If you're dying every single turn on War Mech, how are you spending 4 turns stacking up modifiers? The question is you're not. Or the answer is you're not. You're not. So, what was Global thinking by not upgrading these 2 units? They can't be used in Dark Visions, they can't be used in Trials, they can't be used in EX fights, and they can't be used in Clash of Wills. Where are you using these 2 units?
It just goes. It just shows the great communication between the Trials team and the unit creation team. You know.
I mean, it's so insane. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Not to mention, unfortunately, this is not the Knights, a Grand Shout unit. But we're going to talk about that later. The 500 light resist and everything going forward. But that's for a different that's for a different week. Yeah. So
great. Really shows the great coordination in the whole in the game. You know.
I mean,
we create a relatively strong, decent unit, and and the other team just makes a trial that just shits all over it.
I know you can't use them in the trials. They're too slow for EX fights. They can't do Dark Visions because they get canceled, and well, they just can't do Clash of Wills because they're a JP unit. That's just all JP units. Yeah. So let's go down to Medina. Let's get a little bit of sunshine back into this. So Medina,
global upgrade.
She was even upgraded further, which is awesome. Now she is very, very late, but they upgrade her STMR to the JP version and the TMR. These are just nice upgrades. The unit is decent, so let's pop over to the damage breakdown. Now she's even lower damage than these, but That's to be expected. She's a Neo Vision's Awakened unit, and she's like 6 to 8 months late. Like, she would have been good 6 months ago. And even today, she's still okay-ish, but honestly, not super great. They did upgrade this. We don't know the details. Maybe this is like a huge upgrade, and this becomes her primary damage, and she be even better. I don't know. We don't know until it comes, so we'll see. But I'm so glad she's finally here.
Did you calculate her for TDH or dual wheel?
This is a dual wield build on this calculation. When she comes to global, like I say here on my little spreadsheet, like this is a temporary build. I just calculated with dual wield. When she comes to global, I'll definitely be making her EX3 because I've got so many. I'll then compare her double hand build, and if it's reasonable, like assuming it doesn't take every single slot and leave no room for killers, if I can force her double hand, then I will, and I'll do that instead. But yeah, this is like just a temporary build, so this might be higher or lower when it actually comes out and I get the final numbers. But
cool. I'm ready for my X2, no X3. I'm not gonna make an X3.
Oh, because of the red pearl. I probably will because at this point I've got a lot of red pearls. And then if you scroll down further, I'm kind of hidden on this. We're finally getting 7-star vision card passives that we skipped a month ago, but they're adding them.
Why was this delayed? This is a strange delay for the abilities.
Yeah, this doesn't make a ton of sense why these got pushed back a month, but they're here now. So for those that don't know, this is like the big major one. No matter the cost. This is on the Riser Vision card. I call it that. It's called No Matter the Cost. This gives any 7-star unit a full LB at the start of the battle. The big two standouts where that matters are Avalanche Jesse for just like convenient speed clears, and then Steiner again for speed clears. Like, it's not hard to fill his LB gauge, but to do it on turn 1 for free is really nice for those of you that want like turn 1 OTK Dark Visions fights and you want to use VV. You can now have Steiner fill his LB gauge automatically. Now, the rest of these aren't super relevant because Global skipped all the 7-star like actual unit upgrades. So, but these are designed to be used, for example, this is like the Magic upgrade. This is designed to be used for 7-star Ellie that got enhanced in JP, and then with the Vision card, she did like, not good, but usable damage for like hardcore fans. Like this one upgrades physical units. You could use things like the upgraded Noctis, for example, in JP. You saw you kill the Baymet Trial in like 4 turns with the 7-star Noctis. This was part of the reason why. And then there's 2 global exclusive ones. The Starlight Elena Vision card is giving the chain cap up in the 500 flat attack and magic. And then the Yoshikiri card is giving 2,000 HP and 1,000 flat spirit. So that's cool.
That's cool.
And it is cool. I can't think of any 7-stars I'd really be like, oh yay, this is gonna be worth using on. But I'm glad they're doing it, even if I might not be using it, it's cool that they're doing it. So I'm happy about that.
I mean, if only they given us the 7-star upgrades, that this would have been a lot more exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But this one,
at least we got them.
This one.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be getting that one.
That one's really, really good.
Jesse, for sure.
Let's go all the way back to the banner. So we talked about how bad these units are. So Gumi, in order to tempt us to pull, did the global exclusive vision cards. Let's go ahead and look at that. Oh, and real quick before we do, I will say, in fairness, the vision card from Sakura and Nicole is actually pretty decent. It's 100 magic, which is not super high, but it's fine. No passive stats, but it does give 100 Demon Killer and 100 Human Killer magical only. Keep in mind, that's an important distinction. Magical Killer only. This will not work on Roberta. It won't work on Angela. It won't work on, other physical type mages. I can't think of any at the moment, but there's more. Yeah, so only pure mages will this work on. It's a fine vision card. 100 to two very common races is fine. Then again, it's too easy to gear races as well. But still, the vision card's fine. But here's the special one. 110 magic and spirit, some resistance, some flat magic and spirit. And there's a little bit of confusion about this last passive. The way it's worded is it's chain speed increase, not chain cap increase. That's kind of worthless, and I think maybe potentially they have a typo on the news that's supposed to be chain cap. I don't know. We'll have to see it on Thursday. I think this might be the chain cap up. What do you think, Foxy?
It better be, because if it's the chain speed up, it will be as worthless as Yuna's TMR. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't mention elemental as well. Because I remember you told me.
Oh, that's true.
Between. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's worded. It's only non-elemental chain speed. Now, it could be a
Exactly.
typo. They could have meant chain cap increase. In that case, that's really good. But if it's not so good. And
no, it's trash. It's absolutely trash.
yeah, and then the equipment magic, the magic double hand 200%. And again, this whole entire passive is FFB units only. So if you're trying to like force double, and the reason that this would be good, if it is actual chain cap up, is like I mentioned, down the road, like 4 more months away, we are getting the double hand mage variance patch, and at that point, you kind of want to force double hand on everyone, even if they're not naturally double hand. Like, for example, if you're still using Neovision's Terra, you kind of want to force double hand on her just because the variance boost, stuff like that. This would help on Brave Exvius units only. So, like, for example, this would not help you force double hand on Terra because it just won't work on her. So,
Was the Reigns VC also FFB unit only?
Yeah, FFBE unit only. So you cannot use this on anyone outside of Brave Exvius. That is why I'm considering skipping this card. If this was like any unit and it was chain cap up, I'd probably go for it. But Brave Exvius units only, like, that's just too narrow for me. I don't think I'm going to go for it.
How many? I mean, aside from Dark Rain, how many like good true dual hand mages are coming?
Or true dual wield, you mean?
True dual hand.
Oh, double hand?
Dual wield.
Renoa in the future is a dual wield unit, and you really want to force double hand on her after the variance patch. If you're a fan of Renoa, she would.
I mean for FFBE series.
Oh, for Brave Exvius units? I can't think of any good mages, period, coming in the future. Like, there's a few coming, like the new Poppy is a mage. The new, I think Leftia is a mage as well. The new one, I can't remember.
Yeah, the mage.
Poppy, but those aren't good units. They're just not good. So, like, you're definitely not going to want to pull for a unit or a card to boost those up. Unless Global buffs them, but, they didn't buff these guys. So, I'm not really holding out hope for Global to fix the new Poppy and all either. But who knows? So, are you going for this card, Foxy?
I mean, it has to depend on the chain cap or chain whatever.
Yeah, if it's
the wording is here.
The cap or the speed.
Yeah, the cap or the speed. If it's the speed, then it's absolutely worthless. This card, it's not even gonna tempt me, even though it has Fina on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see that on Thursday. We talked about this shop already. So there is a new login bonus. I usually don't cover login bonuses in bundles, but this is kind of special, so I'm going to. We're going to be getting these Sinister Resurgence tickets, fragment tickets. Now, over the course of 30 days, you're going to get 5 of them, plus a bunch of other goodies like, Envy tickets, etc. That's, those are nice, but this is like the special thing. So you're going to get 5 of these in total. Now, what these are used for is you can get more of them if you buy the bundle as well. So you get 5 for free, and you can get, if you buy this bundle, you can get an extra 5. Now, these are used to get fragments. 1 ticket for 10 fragments, so 5 tickets is 50 fragments, all the way up to the Javi Leftia banner, which is cool. Keep in mind, I noticed, a little bit sneaky here, there's no premium units in this list. They cut out all the premiums. So,
well, I mean, at this point, any free stuff I get is just I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah, the free stuff is awesome. As far as the bundle, because you get Lapis when you buy it, this is obviously a cash-only bundle. I mean, you get a bunch of stuff from it, so for me, it depends on the price. If it's really cheap, I'll go for it. If it's like, a $50 bundle or something, nah, no way. Because no premiums. Like, no premiums means no thank you. Like, if they had done the usual thing and made premiums like, double cost, I'd still go for it. But no premiums at all means like, nah, not for me. Unless it's really, really cheap. If it's like $5, sure. It's obviously not going to be that cheap. But if it's really, really cheap, maybe. But if it's like 50 plus, no way. No way.
I wouldn't hold my breath for anything cheap with this. Well, there's quite a lot inside, so I wouldn't hold my breath if you're thinking it's going to be cheap.
Yeah. I hope it is, but we'll see. There's also the Vision World campaign. This is not really anything you have to do, but we'll talk about the Vision World in a second. But if 70,000 players clear Gehenna, the new Vision World boss opening Thursday, we get a Mastery Crown and some other stuff. A Mystery Crystal if 50,000 do it. So just go in there and clear. Even if you don't care about scoring, I hope that at least 70,000 players go in here, at least kill him one time, so we get a Mastery Crown.
Is it each clear per player, or each one player can keep clearing the same thing?
Oh, I mean, I would assume it's 70,000 unique players. I would guess, if not, like, some of our top players are going to get this like on day one just from by themselves, because I know some of the players like run Dark Visions a lot. Although they're probably not going to run Gehenna for variants. They're going to be running the final boss, not this guy. I guess.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
Well, if we don't hit the clear in time, you better start making your alternate accounts now.
Oh jeez, I don't have any alternate accounts. That would be too much time. But Vision World is being updated, or not updated, but the new bosses are being unlocked on Thursday. So there's 3 new bosses. There's Gehenna, which is like the fiery dark rain. I don't remember this being Spirit Week on JP. I thought JP was either physical or magic. Maybe it was mage only. I don't know. But
it was mage only.
Oh, it was? Okay. So, yeah. So this one has no weakness at all. I think it's 100% to every resist, which basically means just bring your favorite element and imperil it, and you'll be fine. This guy was actually kind of tricky to cap in JP. It'll probably be not too bad on Global, but I'll definitely have some guides for that one. Another one is Wicked Weapon. Now, this one is going to give players a little bit of problem because it's got 4 million defense, which means you have to bring mages if you want to damage cap this guy. It is weak to lightning and dark, which basically means if you have Dark Rain, you're fine. Dark Rain, no problem. Angela, no problem. I think like Ibarra plus Oliveira should be able to pretty easily damage cap this. Maybe not easily, but they should be able to. Roberta's going to be a great option here. It's a dragon, so Roberta can be imbued with like Dark or Thunder. So there's some options here, but it is going to be... I can predict this is definitely going to give some players problems for damage capping this, like the not hardcore players. And then final boss. What was that?
I'm ready for the Cinza budget guide.
I probably will try to do some budget guides for these two. Honestly, I might have to use like some STMRs and all, because these are pretty bulky. I got to be honest here. Like, I'll do my best to budget it down, but if I plan to put like a perfect score video out, like these might take some powerful gear to get that damage cap, and we'll see. I don't remember specifically how hard it was to damage cap on JP. On JP, I actually had Dark Rain, and with Dark Rain, it's like I said, it's no problem at all. But if you don't have Dark Rain, it's a little hard. And then Dark Rain as the boss, keep in mind, they are keeping the light lock on Global. It's not really a lock, but if you're going for a high score run, like a top rank, it kind of is. You have to go light element. Because by memory, it's negative 50 to light and plus 50 to all else, I believe. Yes, yeah, so you kind of have to go light element. Like, you can mix in other elements, like for example, like Tybus or something. Like if you're mixing in light plus Tybus's fire, like he's probably worth using. But I'm pretty sure most of the top teams are going to be exclusively light elements. So the return Fina, obviously MVP because it's a demon and human, and Fina buffs both of those. Kane is light. He's the highest DPS on global or the highest burst on global. Kane is light element. Easy bring. Roberta's probably going to be good here. She does good jump. Graf, going to be amazing. Angela, be really good here. Esther is a little tricky because if you're using Esther, you can't use Fina's field, or at least you can't easily use Fina's field for Kane and maybe Roberta. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. She might be worth using anyway, and just like work around the field problem. We'll see.
I mean, if not, you're gonna bring Aerith, the budget Fina.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna bring. Last week I used all my tickets on Fina, didn't get her. So for me, yeah, it'll definitely be Cetra Aerith on the team as my light buffer, not Fina. And in that case, I won't have a light field anyway. So Esther is absolutely coming on my team because I'm not gonna have a light field anyway. How about you, Foxy? Do you have like Esther and all that? Did you actually pull the new Fina?
I tossed all my tickets in the banner, and then what did I get again? I did get an NV. Oh yeah, I got. Who did I get? Oh yeah, Faisalis. Summer Faisalis.
Oh, ouch, that hurts.
Oh well. Closer to X3 now.
Oh, I actually do have an EX3 Summer Fives list because I've pulled her off banner literally enough times to get EX3. She has haunted me so many times, and she's like a really new unit, and I have her EX3. I did not pull on her banner, and I have her EX3 from dupes. I've duped her that many times in like the 3 months she's been available. It's crazy. It is so crazy.
I pulled for her, and still I'm only at X2, and I had to put her in the frag dungeon as well.
Oh jeez.
Which was painful.
Nice.
But well, I do have 3 out of the 4 units that you mentioned: Graf, Esther. What was the other one?
Graf, Esther. Yeah. Oh, also you actually need someone to break. So like Lara Croft or Venera or Hawkeye, something like that. And if you're using Angela, you're going to need a Spirit Breaker, which basically means Louise.
No Angela, sadly.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and keep in mind, people, this is not cappable, meaning there is no rank sharing. So don't sweat it too much if you don't have all the best units, because you're not going to be sharing a rank anyway.
As usual, if everyone doesn't touch this last boss, we're gonna share rank.
Geez. That's such a meme.
Yes,
But yes, I guess technically speaking, if everyone on the server collaborated, we could share rank 1, but it won't happen. And then the actual event for the week is a raid event. So the raid is kind of whatever. It's a raid, it's farm it. It's super whatever. It's a raid. The gear is like, whatever. Again, some killers. It's human killer and demon killer. Like these are super common. There are a billion human and demon killers, but here's 2 more. The thing I want to mention though is the EX stage. It's kind of weird the way they hide it down here. So the EX stage is actually kind of tricky. So it's a boss rush with 3 different waves, and thankfully there's no turn count missions. You can go as slow as you want, but there's no friend allowed, and there's a 4-unit mission. And
I remember it was quite tricky.
It is a little bit, because during the ambush and every single turn, they do 8,000 AoE fixed damage to your entire party. So
yeah, that's right.
You've got to have more than 8,000 HP on everyone, plus a way to heal every single turn. And even if you're turn 1 OTKing these guys, that means you got to heal your party unless you've got 24,000 HP, because you'll be dead by the 3rd wave if you have no one to top off your party, even if you're turn 1 OTKing. So like it's not super hard or anything. It's just like an extra layer of team building. So you have to have a healer or some way to replenish your team's health or some way to survive until the end taking this damage. That's on top of the regular stuff they do. Like they do, AoE physical, AoE magic damage if you're not turn 1 OTKing them. So I'll definitely have some guides on this. Now this one can most certainly be budget cleared. I think my clear in JP used Golden Riser, which was completely free. So like you can definitely budget clear these. It's not super hard. It's just like you have to take the fight seriously. So as long as you take the fight seriously, it's not really a problem. But yeah, you just can't go in there with like a random blind team like, oh, I'm just gonna face roll it. No, you got to take it a little bit seriously. I'll have guides out for that. I'll have like the face roll overpowered whale guide, and I'll also have like the budget run guide for these. So which one are you going to be using, Foxy? The whale guide or the budget guide?
Obviously, since I'm F2P, I'm gonna be following the Cinza budget.
Well, I will have something. I haven't actually planned it yet, but I'll think of something tomorrow night and then get it ready, and that'll be ready on Thursday. So,
and it better be using the units that I have at the X level that I am at. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Oh, geez. I will definitely make sure to double check with you before I build the team.
Many thanks.
So I warned you guys it was going to be a long video, and this is definitely one of my longer news videos. But we had a lot to talk about, so thanks again for joining me, Foxy.
You're welcome. I was happy to come help you rant.
All right. I didn't really rant too much. Well, I guess okay, I did rant about Sakura and Nicole, because I feel like if anyone was going to get a global upgrade, it should have been these two units. They should have fixed these units. I hate when they put in units that are just complete and total stinkers and duds. Like, if you off-banner these, you're going to facepalm. Other than the STMR. The STMRs are nice, don't get me wrong. Those are nice STMRs. But the units themselves are such complete duds, and they could have been easily fixed by so many different ways they could have fixed these units, and they just didn't. They just didn't.
I mean, if honestly, I like Sakura, so
I mean, she has pink hair. She has pink hair, of course. She has pink hair.
Yeah. Yeah, pink hair, big rod, and good sprite. If they had actually bothered to even give her some form of, upgrades or fix them somehow, I would have pulled on the banner just because even if they are not meta, even if they don't do top damage, I would have pulled for them. But seeing how they left it as it is, even in JP they were underwhelming, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever used these in a YouTube video that I've seen. I'm sure someone has, but in featured YouTube videos, like trial clears, I don't watch that many JP trial videos. Mostly just Kugels. I'll watch his for the most part. I don't think I've ever seen these units used, but again, I don't watch a ton of JP videos. So maybe people have used them to do stuff. I just haven't seen it.
But still, it's. I believe the reception was that they were underwhelming in JP. So yeah. If they had bothered to at least give them some form of upgrades, I would have honestly put on the banner. But since there's nothing, I'll just toss some tickets that's coming our way and call it a day.
Okay, that's fair. But alright, yeah, this video is probably longer than it should have been. But thanks again, Foxy. I will see you guys later.
Bye-bye.